Shae, and this is my channel where I speak about feminine embodiment, how to express yourself more confidently, more fully, more expansively, and how to feel more you in the world. In today's video, I'm going to share ways to feel more you. How can you feel more yourself, like you're not holding yourself back, not a limited version of you, a warped version of you, a version of you that feels like you're kind of playing a role rather than actually dropping in and being yourself. And ways that I found both in my life to be really effective, but also in the life of women that I've worked with and people in general, actually, not just women, but for the most part, I have worked with a lot of women on retreats, workshops, online mentorships, one-to-one mentorships, and even just the people in my life closest to me when we have beautiful conversations just like this, things that can be really helpful. I want to speak to this idea of feeling like not yourself, feeling a little bit unbalanced, feeling like maybe you're playing some role, or maybe that the real you isn't fully able to shine through. And what I want to propose here is that for many different reasons in these certain circumstances or relationships, we warp ourselves. We shut parts of ourselves down. They don't feel safe to be seen. We don't feel like we'll get connection or belonging if we show that part of ourselves. We feel like we might get rejected or we might lose connection if we say, speak up for ourselves, or if we really share our true desires, or if we show our wacky, weird, crazy side to people. And if you're anything like me, you've had maybe an experience in your life where you really did feel like you were in a box and you were trapped and you were limited. And for someone who self-expression is so important for me and it's so vital for me to feel good, like a baseline level good in the world. The key to that is self-expression. The key to that is how deeply rooted am I in me, in my body, in my being. And in order for me to drop deeper into myself and not feel like I'm like hiding little parts of myself away, or again like playing some kind of a role, right? Playing the nice girl, the good girl. What comes into this? There's a bit of people pleasing. Why will we please other people so that we can stay safe? Maybe we learned as children, very, very young children, that in order to make the adults happy around us, and in order to receive love, we had to act a certain way and kind of limit ourselves by being good. I think a lot of us actually suffer from this. And while that might have been well meaning parenting or caregiving, what it can do is have us learn that in order to receive connection or in order to feel safe, if our parents or caregivers put us in an unsafe experience or environment due to not showing up as the good girl, right? Maybe there was really bad consequences to that. So we learned that in order to be safe, we had to like act a certain way. And then later on in life, we continue out this pattern of playing a certain role of trying to maintain connection, actually even like maintain love through showing up in this kind of warped version of ourselves. It can leave us feeling drained, exhausted, like we're not actually connected to the people we truly love. It can lead us to feel like we can't create the depth of friendships that we want in our lives. And it can leave us to feeling like we're kind of muted and bland. And I believe over a long period of time, that leads to resentment, resentment in ourselves. It leads to like a dulling of our light, a very strong lack of confidence, and this feeling of being lost and not really knowing who we are. What I really want to speak to is just how you can express yourself more, how you can feel that safety to be yourself, and how you can also create the right relationships for you that make you realize that you can receive the connection you want by being purely you. And anyone who doesn't respond well to that shouldn't be in your life as someone that you choose to be in your life. Any situation that when you show yourself gives you feedback that that isn't okay, then that is a not an indication to warp who you are, but rather an indication to change your environment and change your relationship. So, how to access more of you? One of the best ways that I've found, and I've spoken about this recently on my YouTube, is archetype work. Using certain models of behavior or energy to see where you might be either relating to them very strongly or feeling like they're kind of unfamiliar to you, feeling like this energy is something you want to access more of, and then diving into that archetype, that model for that energy, so you can explore it more, get more familiar with it, have something that you can relate it to, have an image in your mind, and then start to actually do practices and exercises around that to access more of that energy. It's all about accessing more of yourself and realizing that by practicing accessing more of yourself, you'll get better at it. By also looking at why you might not have access to the you who wants to show off her humor, why you might not have access to the you that wants to actually set boundaries. Why does that feel like that's a block for you? So, in my new book, I explain how there are ways that we limit ourselves. I take you through journal prompts for you to explore why that might be happening for you. And then I give you practical exercises to let more of that part of you out and to do it in a way that feels more you, right? I can't tell you exactly how you should do it because you are a different person with different preferences, different desires, different characteristics. And for you, you only know the best way to explore this. But archetype work is such a powerful way to do this. It's all about looking at even in your own life, who is an archetype of, a super confident, bubbly woman? Who is an archetype of that for you? And you think about her and you see how she responds in certain situations, and you see this right in front of you. You see what it looks like. So it's clearer in your mind what this looks like. And then you go through a journey of questioning, okay, if I were to try to do that, if I were to want to be that, what's stopping me? In that situation, what is the thought that's going on in my mind that has me not do that, that has me not show up in that way, that has me instead sit there silently, that has me instead not ask the questions I want to ask? What is the story I'm telling in my mind? If I did this, then what would happen? What are the consequences I'm afraid of? What am I afraid of? All of these questions are really going to help you open up more of yourself. And you have to explore yourself more deeply to open yourself up more deeply. Like, to access more of you, you have to go in and explore more of you and see what is locked down, see what you've put in a box over here that you're a little bit afraid of looking at, that part of you you're not wanting to actually admit to yourself. And it's only when we give those parts of ourselves some light and love and understanding and even validation for being there that we can actually start to work with them, and we can remove their influence over us so that we get to have more empowered ways of being in the world that aren't driven by limiting beliefs or patterns. Okay, I hope that this has sparked some inspiration for you. If you want to learn more, I highly encourage you to get my new book. It's available on print and Kindle, and I have a special launch price until the 20th of May. So, around about, I think it's 14 days from when this video has come out. Even after this video, if you're watching this later down the track, my book is still at an affordable price, and it really does have a lot of value in it for you to explore yourself and express yourself. Have a beautiful day, and thank you for tuning in.